I think I must have gone through like 100 different brands of water over at Dolman's, over like a whole 2-week period.
Holy shit, how much do you pee?
No. Non-stop. Buckets, yeah, load,
Sure, man.
yeah, tons of water, yeah.
Well, you must have a lot of cubicles ready for you guys, boy.
A lot, yeah. But I felt good, yeah.
This particular episode you're on is for the I Love My Job series on my show.
Oh, right.
Okay, so we've met a few people already, people who do different kinds of work,
Yes.
and I want to find out why they do what they do, et cetera, and yours is one of the more unusual, kind of,
Thank you.
no, I wouldn't even call it a trade. As a matter of fact, it's a profession because you need to be certified, right?
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
And the title of your episode is called That One with the Water Sommelier, Sam Wu.
Thank you for having me.
No, not at all. And since we're on that particular topic, and since I've already said whatever I've said, welcome back, everybody, to the Chris Henson conversation. We are still on the I Love My Job series. And today is going to be something really unusual. Because usually when I have a person here accredited as a sommelier, we expect to have wine at least, or whiskey even, and I'll be such a happy man. But no, today we're here for the purest of all liquids, man. You and I and the whole planet need it all the time. 70% of the planet is covered in this particular liquid, and it's, yeah, you guessed it, H2O.
Yeah.
Water.
Yeah.
We have this thing or this particular profession called the water sommelier. Can you beat that, man? I mean, what the fuck's going on, right? But yeah, and with me in the studio today, I have Singapore's first, I don't know if he's still the only, but I'll find out soon, first certified water sommelier, Sam Wu. Welcome to the studio, man.
Hello, Chris. Thank you for having me.
No, not at all. Not at all. And really, I see all the bottles and, different brands of water, just rested in front of you.
Yeah.
We're going to try all that, I'm sure.
Yes, we will.
Okay. But before we do all that, water sommelier, man, as I was saying, what the heck? I mean, I understand when someone tells me about, because this is a Shiraz, and here's the difference between a Shiraz and a Pinot Noir, and a Cabernet Sauvignon. Or even if we talk about Chris, as this thing called single malt, and how many years they've been in the cask, but it's a 12-year or 18-year, or even a 20-year, or what's the difference between that and a blended, right? So I'm just wondering, water is water, man. Okay, you got still and you've got sparkling, but then again, water is water. How can we actually define the difference in water? Because when we ask anyone, go to a science class,
Yes.
water is, what's the taste of water, Kai? What's the taste of water, Kai? Come on, quick, chop.
Plain water.
O-level question, come on. Well, not even O-levels, man. Primary school. Kai, what's the taste of water?
Just plain water.
Pain your backside lah, tasteless lah, hello. It's not salty, right?
It can be,
What?
as you will discover.
Get the fuck out of here, man. The only salty water I know is coming from the ocean. That's seawater, right? Salt water. Come on.
You're in for a big surprise.
Okay, you got to really show me that.
Yes.
Okay. Sweet.
Yes, possibly, yes.
No, come on. Let's add it with sugar. It becomes syrup.
Not like sugar sweet, but it can be like
Simple syrup.
different kind of sweet, but yeah.
A different kind of sweet.
Yeah,
Oh,
but I like a vocabulary.
Right. Bitter?
Yes.
I've been down on the entire taste profile, man.
Yes. Yeah. Bitter is a very
taste
common
profile,
one, in fact. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yes. Bitter water. It's okay, but
Bitter water.
by the end of this show, you will agree with me.
Is that confident ass?
Of course. Yeah.
Then this title, man, water sommelier, is something you don't hear every day.
Yeah.
Not just in Singapore, I think anywhere else in the world.
Very few of us. Yeah.
There are very few. Wow.
Very.
Very few of us.
Yeah. But Singapore, we have
Exclusive club, huh?
There's 4 of us in Singapore now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 4 of us. And there's the second one's a female as well. Corinne, she's a wine sommelier as well.
Wine sommelier and water sommelier.
Yes. And she's a level 4, WSET level 4 wine
So what the hell does that mean?
Basically just very advanced. very advanced wine sommelier.
Very admired.
Most people are level 1, level 2.
Right.
Yeah, she's like level 4.
Okay, she's the one that can taste the earth.
Yes.
The earth from the wine.
She's really good. You should definitely have her on your show.
Oh,
Your
okay.
show someday.
Okay. Hand me the contact later on, man.
Yeah.
I would love to.
Yeah.
And
And
get-
talk about wine and water
I'm
together.
not just going to get pissed at the same time at the end of the show. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that, man. Tell her to bring the damn wine. Yeah? I'm not going to be the one.
She will. She will. Yeah.
Take me back to the beginning.
Yes.
Water Sommelier.
Yeah.
What were you doing before you embarked on this, man?
Family business,
And what kind of business, don't mind me asking?
apparel, clothing.
Ah,
Yeah.
so from clothes, you went to water.
Yes, from clothes to water.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay. Why? Why?
Well, so I was doing so apparel. My family, we manufacture clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have a factory in Cambodia.
Wow.
Still running today.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's just not really my interest, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah. So after I was finding like something to do. Yeah. And then I chanced upon Martin Rees. Yeah. So he's I would say like probably the most famous water sommelier in the world.
Right.
Yeah. In fact, one of the front runners, the one who established this. Yeah. He even went on to like the Conan O'Brien show. He has a show with Zac Efron, Down to Earth. You can catch it on Netflix, episode 2.
Yeah. I remember that show that Zac Efron was in, on Netflix.
Yeah. And he was the water sommelier who was like introducing to him about.
So, okay, wait. So you're saying this guy
Yes.
started this whole thing?
I would say
Or made it more popular, or he started it? What were the origins of this, man, of tasting the difference of water?
well, according to Martin, he learned it from like a school in Germany. Yeah, but I'm not entirely sure which school he went.
Right.
Yeah. But he did this, and then I think he just started to market himself as the first one.
Right.
So he is like the first one.
So the origin of this, actually, since there's a school
Yeah.
that he went to in Germany.
Yeah.
So how long has this, what do I call this? An art, a craft?
Both.
Okay, that has been going on in the world. And historically, I mean, how long?
Well, I would say that the knowledge. Okay, if you ask me, like from what I know, right?
Right.
The real pioneer for this in terms of like the knowledge
Right.
and the inquiry into like the taste of water, it really started by this guy called Dr. Peter Schops,
Right.
who is the founder of the certification program that I went to.
Right. How long ago is this?
So this was 2018.
Oh, that's not long. It's within this freaking century.
Yeah, it's definitely within a century.
Right.
So he was the one who established this course. I think about maybe 10 years ago now. Yeah.
Right.
So of course it started with German, and then the English one.
Right.
And to me, he is the most knowledgeable person in terms of tasting of water
Right.
on the planet. He is the one.
Look, man, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but let me just put this across to you.
Yes.
I mean, if that's the case, it's been around since just only 2018. It's been what, 7 years?
Yeah.
Just 7 years, right?
Yeah.
I mean, anyone can take something and say that, hey, this one's got a difference between the taste of this and that.
Yes.
Right? Okay, if you take my thumb and you suck at my thumb and I suck at your thumb, you
Yeah.
can tell my thumb tastes different from your thumb.
Yes. But you need someone to do that. You need someone to have like, okay, so there's something in this water. Does anyone know anything about it? Okay, nobody knows. There's no knowledge on the planet at the moment.
right.
So let's sit down and let's have a taste. And then, you taste, and then and not forgetting that Dr. Peter Schops, he is a chemist.
Okay.
A food chemist.
Okay.
Yeah, so he does have this background on like looking into what's inside this product,
Right.
constituents of the product.
Right.
So he does have this scientific knowledge behind him and his doctor, right?
But don't you think that besides having that knowledge of chemistry, for example,
Yes.
just much like a wine connoisseur or sommelier or say even a chef,
Yes.
right? Or someone who is a flavorist,
Yes.
right? It's a profession, a flavorist. There's about 300 plus of them in the world. That one I know for a fact.
Yes. Yes.
You need to have great gustatory senses. Basically, your sense of taste has got to be quite amazing, isn't it? We all know that these people need to have that. But is that the same for water sommeliers?
I would say partially, because it's I would say that, so yes, if you are more sensitive to the different tastes or smells, that's amazing. You have superior senses in that sense. But in general, most people can taste and can smell the thing. It's just, the difference is the knowledge and the exposure and the experience.
Wow, you really got to walk me through this thing later on. It's a practical I'm looking forward to.
So you can taste it as well. And in fact, you will prove to yourself that you can taste it later, when you finally when I bring you through it.
Okay.
But perhaps if you do it yourself, it doesn't make sense to you. You're like, this tastes something, but you don't know what it is. But with me around, it will make sense to you.
Okay, I'm going to roll back this conversation a little bit.
Yes.
Because I want to be fair to you and of course to our viewers and listeners, all right?
Yes.
Look, you were involved in your family's apparel business.
Yeah.
You decided that this isn't for me. Then you came across this guy. What's his name again?
Martin Rees.
Martin Rees. And then you decided that let's give this a shot. I want to try to discover why. I mean, why? I mean, could have been anything else, man.
It could be, but I felt like, okay, there was a pull to it. Like, I mean, of course, it starts from like your own personal passion and interest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But then after you realize that there's nobody in Singapore that has this information.
Sure.
Yeah. And it's like, this profession is like so unique. So you're like thinking like, why aren't there more people doing this? So how about maybe this is a chance for me, to go into it and to explore, because no one has done it yet.
So it was an exploration kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was like setting yourself onto a discovery adventure.
Exactly.
Because no one will wake up in the morning one freaking day, as a young man or as a young, even on our teens, wake up in the morning and say, guess what? I love water. I'm going to make water my profession.
That happened after Dormans in Germany. Like after the course, I was so mind blown that actually happened.
Okay, so the passion set in after you've learned about it.
Yes.
So it's not as if you wake up in the morning, some people wake up in the morning, I'm going to go work in a new water plant.
No, it was curiosity. I would say that the curiosity brought me to the place where I can learn. And then after you learn, and then you're like, oh my God, there's this opportunity here. And there's so many people who needs to know this. They should
know.
I feel like because it's health, right? It's health. It's something that you drink every day. Like everybody needs it. It's just most of the time people, they don't know how to use it. They misuse it in a sense.
Health. Yeah. You use the term health.
Yes.
But it isn't about health. It is more sustenance. We need water. Yes. Of all sorts, but anyway.
You can also use it for health purposes, which you will discover along this conversation.
Okay, some more things for me to discover. Kai, did you flash that Business Times headline earlier on?
Was it this one? Let me check.
Show it to me, baby. That's the one. Did you flash it earlier?
Oh, yeah, that's
we're flashing it now.
First few articles.
Wow, check you out, man. I mean, it's like, look at that, man. I mean, Business Times covered you for this.
6 years ago or 7 years ago, I think.
6, 7. So this is how long you've been doing this?
Yeah, since 2018, then my business started early 2019, January 2019. So till now.
So you turned this into a business?
I turned it into a business, but okay, I think it's evolving as well, and I'll share more on that, on my own personal, how the business is evolving and how I am, my role in it as well.
Okay.
I guess we'll come to that later.
We can come to that now. It's fine.
Oh. The thing is, I'm forever passionate. I won't say forever, but at the moment, I'm still very passionate about like water education and teaching, advising, consulting, sharing, whatever, education part about water. I'm very, very into that. So this is something that I will continue doing. But in terms of the business side of it, in terms of like selling water, I would say that, I think another person may be more suitable for this, because let's just say that I have another direction. Like I have a different, and I'm actually going personally, I'm going to like the mental health space. Yeah, so very different. It's another stage of my life. Yeah, no, this is like.
Wait. So are you saying you're incorporating your expertise as a water sommelier into the mental health space? Or
may or may not.
Two separate things?
It's two separate things.
Okay.
Yeah. But in terms of education, still very passionate and more than willing to share and do, and will continue to do so. Doing tasting classes and things like this.
So basically in your water sommelier business,
yes,
as the entity that exists.
Yes.
You are basically the guy that educates, and the other person, whoever that person is, the one that runs the business.
Yes, correct.
Is that that what you're saying?
Yes,
Right,
exactly.
right.
You got it. Yeah.
Okay. So you don't think that we should talk about the business because you're not the guy running the business.
Oh, no, I'm still am, so we can talk about it.
Yeah.
It's just going the forward, maybe next year onwards. And like this is like a transition period for me. So next year, maybe you can find someone who is very passionate about this, who wants to run a water business, and maybe you can come talk to me. I'm open to that. Yeah.
Come and talk to you to sell off your shares.
Yeah, sure. Or I don't know, however way that, it is.
So are you saying to me you be jamming the brakes on being a water sommelier?
Not being a water sommelier, but on selling water.
On selling water. So the business you're involved in right now actually is in the business of selling water.
Two things.
It's like a vending business.
Yeah, so there's a selling water, so I import and distribute water.
Right.
That's the first part. And the second part is like doing classes, master class,
Right.
water tasting class,
Which is what you're passionate, more passionate about.
which is what I'm passionate.
It's not about the selling of the water that you're passionate about.
Yes.
That one is just a business aspect.
It's not the money making that interests me.
Right. Wow. No, okay. Let's get away from that for a bit.
Yes.
Becoming Singapore's first certified water sommelier.
Yes.
Can we flash that pic, please, Kai? Pic full. That one. Take a look at you, man. Just, I would have thought inside egg vodka. Vodka martini, shaken, not stirred. Guy dressed like James Bond, and holding the glass like he's holding wine. Yeah. I just had to do that, man. I saw that shot. I said, it's kind of cool. So that's the reason why I flashed it there. But being the first certified water sommelier here in this country,
Yeah.
that journey you've had started from Germany, right?
Started from Germany.
So your certification came from Germany.
Yeah.
What's the name of that place?
Doemens Academy.
How do you spell that?
DOEMENS.
Wow.
Yeah. You can actually go and get
So
yourself
German, man.
certified. I think it will cost in total.
I'd rather be certified other things. I mean, look, like you said, to be fair,
Yeah.
okay, since you said this, if I go for a course like that, maybe I get excited, maybe I get passionate, I don't know.
Yeah.
To be fair. Yeah. But at this juncture, man, I don't get it, man. I look at something colorless. I know I need it. Colorless and tasteless, or you say there's taste. But what were the steps, man? When you went to Doemens, what were the steps you had to take to achieve this certification?
So there were a lot of blind tastings.
Wow.
A lot.
I'm going to so blind taste you later.
It's sure. But I don't know how rusty I am, but I'm sure, yeah. I did must be 100.
As long as the water doesn't taste like rust.
It can, but hopefully I don't think if there's iron in it, yeah, but I don't think these waters have them. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I think I must have gone through 100 different brands of water over at Doemens, over a whole 2-week period.
Holy shit, how much do you pee?
No. Non-stop. Buckets, yeah, load.
Sure, man.
Yeah, tons of water, yeah.
Well, you must have a lot of cubicles ready for you guys, boy.
A lot, yeah. But I felt good, yeah. Although,
Haven't you ever? Okay.
Wait.
Since we're since we're on this topic of drinking loads of water, I'm learning this stuff.
Yeah.
And then going to the loo quite a lot.
yeah,
I mean, there's this thing called water poisoning, isn't there?
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's when you drink too much.
Too much water.
But not just too much. The water poisoning comes from mineral imbalance as well.
What?
Yeah. So for example,
Okay.
you would be at a higher risk of water poisoning if you are, say, an athlete, right? And then you run, say, a marathon.
Right.
And then you drink a highly purified, demineralized water with no minerals inside. Yeah. I mean, this is why you have 100 plus electrolytes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. So electrolytes is another fancy term for minerals.
Okay.
Basically.
Right.
Yeah. Which is the core essence of water, in fact.
Okay.
Yes. So there's that link over there. But I mean, that's why you drink 100 plus, because you are replenishing your minerals, right?
Okay, so if you get water that doesn't have
Yeah.
minerals in them,
Yes.
you're quite screwed.
If you drink a lot of it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happens to a person then?
you get water poisoning.
I know. What happens? But what are those symptoms? What can happen to a person when he gets
So,
water
I mean, what happens is, osmosis, right?
poisoning?
Yeah. So when there's basically if the cell is in, say your blood is so diluted,
Right.
and then your cell is in the middle of a highly diluted blood, right? So the water would go into the cell,
So, well, you're really talking from a cellular level.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what happens to the person, man?
So imagine your cell, just imagine like your cell wants to explode because there's too much H2O in it.
Right.
So it just feeling like your brain cells like pushing against your skull. In fact, that is a symptom of water poisoning.
So you get what? A massive headache.
Yeah, massive headache.
Okay.
Massive, yeah.
Okay.
And other symptoms as well.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's what happens when you have, of course, this is highly excessive amounts of water. Like you drink like 5 liters in one, 3 to 5 liters in one go.
Right.
You know, and it's highly demineralized. Yeah.
Okay. So when you went to Dolmens, and as you said, you've probably tried about 100 different versions of water, right?
Yes.
And then when you did that, what did you have to learn? Put me through, a bit of the rudiments that you had to go through to learn how to be a water sommelier. You tasted so many types of water, and then you had to learn what that you had to refine your taste buds, isn't it?
Well, not really. It's more about the knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you sort of, as you taste, you figure out why it is like that. You make sense of what you taste.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Walk me through that a bit.
so like you get to understand like what are the types of water, why water has taste, you know, and then so essentially why water has taste is because of the minerals inside the water. Yeah, then you will know like, oh, there are different kinds of mineral waters. There's very low, medium, high, very high, you know, and then if you break the minerals down further, you know, there are types of minerals. It's
Right.
like calcium tastes a certain way, magnesium tastes a certain way, sodium of course tastes a certain way.
Right.
Yeah.
So what happens if now that you said this, does it make sense? Because I'm trying, what's going through my head, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's how about people who have filtered water at home?
Yes.
And they filter the water.
Yes.
If that's the case, they go through, let's say, for example, I have,
Yes.
I'm not going to give them free advertising.
Yeah.
I have this brand that I've had in all my homes since I got married.
Yeah.
And it's not a cheap bloody brand.
Yes.
And we always, every now and then, have to change the different filters. There are like 6 or 8 filters
Yes.
of different minerals it goes through, the filtration process. So when it goes through, minerals actually.
I wouldn't say they are minerals, but they are more like things that remove minerals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So, no, not really. Well, the selling point to us,
Just
the selling point to us is that it's filtered with minerals, through minerals.
Yeah, so there could be something in there that adds minerals.
Perhaps.
Yeah, perhaps.
Okay. Yeah.
More often
sounds
than
like
not,
it, yeah.
more often than not, before that, there will be something to remove.
To remove the initial minerals. So is that a good thing or a bad thing, having a filter? A water filter?
It can be, I would say that there are advantages and disadvantages to it. So, of course, the disadvantage will be that, so long-term consumption of a highly demineralized water.
Yeah, as you said, it screws you over.
So in that moment, it could be water poisoning.
Yeah.
But now we are talking about years and years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you finally, one fine day, when you fall, and then your doctor tells you, your bone density is low.
Right.
You are not taking enough calcium, you know, things like this. Then you start to, why do I have that? Yeah. And then you realize that it's linked, you know, to your long-term exposure of a highly demineralized water.
So it's not just about having milk then.
Well, so milk definitely is part of the whole equation.
Yeah, giving you calcium.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
along with water, along with food and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, but water is a main thing as well.
right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And then you had to learn what the different minerals are in water.
Yes.
And also water from different parts of the world, from different springs.
Yes, water from different springs. But you will also realize that unlike wine, where different regions, not even world, of course there are differences, but even like within a country, a certain region, different regions, depending on what the grape is exposed to, the weather, you know, you get different kinds of wine.
Yeah.
So, but you realize that for water, right, it's not like that. Yeah, because the process is happening underground. You know, so how is water being produced? You know, it comes from rain, right? That's the first step.
Right.
Yeah. And then as it hits the ground and gets filtered to the ground.
Right.
So your filter, a home filter, is kind of like trying to simulate that.
Right.
Yeah. But naturally, you know, it gets filtered through the ground.
Right.
And along the way, it picks up these things, minerals.
Right.
Yeah. So depending on the trajectory of how the water flows, you know, it picks up different kind of minerals.
Okay.
And it's so varied and so unique in a sense, the trajectory, that every single mineral water brand that you find on the planet is like a thumbprint. It is unique. It is as unique as a thumbprint. You can't find the exact same mineral water. It's a gift from Mother Nature.
Really? Yeah.
Yes. You can't find
All different.
all different.
Every single one.
You can't find another Evian. Exact. Of course, you can find similar, like in the category, say, medium mineral water, which it is. You find like, many brands in medium.
So everyone is typically unique.
Everyone is unique. Everyone is different because they go through different rocks, different trajectories underground.
Right. And different flow in there. Depends on where it flows.
Yeah. Different. They're all different.
Oh, it's getting a little interesting.
Yeah, and you can't really predict them in a sense, unless of course you are a geologist.
Right.
And then when you set up a mineral water plant, you got to have a geologist to figure out the trajectory anyway. Yeah.
A stupid question. I don't know whether it's a stupid question or not, but I'm going to ask you a stupid question.
No.
I think it's a stupid question. Okay.
No.
Let's see now. Rain, precipitation.
Yes.
When there's precipitation, rain comes down. And when rain comes down, on the hypothesis that is caught in a bottle or in a pail.
Yes.
So we collect rainwater.
Yes.
Now, that's unfiltered.
Yes.
What's in that rainwater, man?
Well, there's dust.
Go on.
There's dust.
That's it.
A little bit of minerals.
Right.
So you'll realize that the mineral profile of rainwater is very low. Very, very low. If
Why?
not none. But I would say none. Yeah. Well, because it doesn't get exposed to rocks.
Yeah, but is a process, precipitation is a process of evaporation.
Yeah. So so in that process, it's a bit like distilling water.
Yeah.
Where you boil the water and then you capture the
Moisture.
the condensation, right?
Right, yeah.
The water vapor condenses.
Right.
So in the process of evaporation or boiling, you leave everything behind. Nothing is taken. Yeah, all the minerals are left behind. It's like if you boil salt water, the salt is left behind. Yeah. So, and the water is pure, in a sense, pure water. Yeah. So pure water will evaporate, condense. Yeah.
So there's nothing, can we call it nutrients? There are no nutrients in that?
No, but of course, along the way, there will be things in the air, which will dissolve in it, gets captured. Whether it's dust or bacteria or whatever it is, minerals to whatever, yeah.
Okay, let's look at this process again.
Yeah.
Let's look at this process again.
Yeah.
Thanks for schooling me on this.
No.
Water goes up, evaporates up, it goes into the sky, cumulonimbus gets formed.
Yes.
And then after that, you have water coming down, rainwater.
Rain. Yes.
Then when rainwater comes down, what happens again, and it's not a hypothesis, actually quite real. We know about acid rain.
Yeah.
And then, of all the pollutants and all that crap that it collects on the way up to the sky, and it comes back down.
Collecting everything on the way down as well.
Okay, let's say it goes, collecting everything on the way down. It goes back into the earth. It goes through rocks and minerals and pebbles and whatever.
Yes.
And then, voila, water, drinking water.
Yes.
Can all that process of filtration get rid of that acid rain?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, all natural mineral waters are what you drink is what you get. It's not processed. It is natural.
No, but it doesn't get rid of all that gunk and fucked up stuff that went up into the sky, comes down as rain, like acid rain.
Can, depending on, of course, the system itself. Like how deep you go, or what are the rocks that are available there.
Right.
Things like this. It's exactly how you watch those like YouTube videos, right? Where they make those makeshift purifiers. Like if you're in the jungle.
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. And then you take the river water and it's like so dirty and clumpy.
Yeah.
And then they do those makeshift filters using rocks and boiling and things like this. Yeah. And then what comes out is like a clear
water. Yeah.
It's exactly that.
Okay, so you were saying, but people are actually doing that to those survivalists.
Yes.
When they actually filter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but that is basic level.
Right.
But if you do it at a much larger scale,
right,
like Mother Nature level,
right,
filters 100 meters downwards.
Right.
I'm not talking about like 5 meters. I'm talking about like 80 meters, 70, 80 meters downwards.
Okay.
Yeah. You can get a very, very pure water in a sense. And it's clean, bacteria free, Yeah.
So what else do you do? What is it? Sorry to interject, man. Because I'm getting old.
No.
It's like I lose my train of thought.
So am I.
Oh, come on, dude. Don't tell me you're old, okay? I'm gonna pour water on you.
I'm not that much younger than you. But yeah, okay.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
What do you mean you're not that much younger than me?
10 years to give and take.
How young are you?
35 this year.
Excuse me, sir. I'm 20 years your senior.
Okay. 师傅, yeah.
My goodness me. Oh boy. But thanks anyway.
Yeah.
Sucker for compliments. Yeah, but see, where was I going with this?
Yeah. Creation system.
Yeah. Tell me more about dolmens. What else did you have to go through to get your certification? Man, how long was this process for?
It's about 2 weeks.
That's it?
Yeah. It's not, so it's intensive. You sit there and you drink your water.
Oh God.
You sit there for 8 hours and then you drink your water.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what are the objectives, man, for these guys setting up an institute like this, like that?
So dolmens,
Yeah.
water is only like, I would say like 5% dolmens. The real deal for dolmens, being in Munich, is a beer school, in a beer land.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, that's where you will go.
So in the end, it's about beer, right?
Yes, it's all about beer.
Oh, fuck off.
It is a beer academy.
So, because we know,
Yeah.
for many good beer makers, right?
Yeah,
They use a lot of mineral water to make the beer.
Yes.
Am I right? They gotta add clean water
Yes.
to make the beer.
Yeah.
Right?
Although I'm not sure
Or to brew the beer.
they necessarily use mineral water. And what kind of mineral water, I'm not...
Fucking hell, if you take a bottle of whatever beer, I'm not going to be selling any beer. If you take a bottle of any beer, you take a read behind on the label, how this beer has been made. Fuck, you always see mineral water somewhere.
Yeah, possibly. Well, it depends on where the factory is, I guess, whether accessible, to fresh drinking.
But a couple of years ago, man, before this water sommelier thing started to exist, which I actually didn't know even existed until I met you, people were saying, don't drink too much mineral water because of the sediments on the mineral will start to give you kidney stones. Any truth in that shit?
That is the most... Well, it's the...
You're only saying that because because you're a water sommelier.
I can explain, and then you can decide for yourself.
Okay, sure. Tell me.
Yeah. So, talk about minerals, right?
Yep.
So, for example, if you look at, say, for example, Evian here, right? Here.
Yeah.
So, if you look at... So, talk about kidney stones. What are kidney stones? Kidney stones are essentially minerals that are like... Yes.
Minerals that became stones.
They became stones.
Yeah.
And under what conditions are these stones formed?
Okay, you tell me.
Okay. So, from what I know,
Uh-huh.
and I've done research on this as well,
Uh-huh.
the biggest contributor, number one, is dehydration.
Okay, fair.
Yes?
I'll give you that. Yeah.
It makes sense to you, right?
Yeah, it does,
When
yeah.
you're dehydrated, you basically... There's no flushing.
Yep.
So whatever that's left behind starts to calcify, become a stone.
Right.
Number one.
Yeah.
Number two is diet.
Okay.
Yeah. So if, for example, you're on a very high sodium diet, don't ask me about the whatever that's going through that, but that is one of the contributing factors.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course, there's genetics as well.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah. But the main factor is, in fact, hydration.
So what you're saying is that don't blame the mineral water or the minerals in mineral water. Blame your stupid habits.
Yes. Okay. And then I'll add on further.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes,
So minerals,
Uh-huh.
kidney stones.
Uh-huh.
So what is a kidney stone? What mineral is it made of?
How fuck do I know?
Well, it is, so a mineral is plus and minus, right?
Right.
So the plus side is calcium.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And the minus side is, wow, you got me there. It's, basically it's from the diet. Okay. I just need 10 seconds to Google it.
Sure. Google it.
Okay, I'll do my phone.
No, don't worry about it, man.
But yeah, can you Google it?
I'm not going to put you in the spot. I'm not here to put you in the spot.
But anyway, yes.
Google it?
Yeah,
Can you Google it? Like, Google it,
the
this
main,
guy.
okay, there are a few kinds of kidney stones,
Right.
But the main one is calcium something that behind. I can't.
So basically, what constitutes kidney stones?
Yeah.
What goes into a kidney stone besides calcium, Kai? Yeah.
So you have calcium. So anyway, well, he's searching on that.
Yeah.
So calcium. So don't you need calcium?
Yeah, of course.
Right.
For bones.
So, but if you know that kidney stone is made from calcium,
Yeah.
would you, because of this, then like, I don't take calcium? No.
Well, look, I'm not that ignorant. At the end of the day, right? I mean, everything in us oxidizes, calcifies. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Including with your arteries and stuff. If you get clogged arteries, they calcify, they get hard. And
Yes. So it's not so much about the calcium, but
Right.
about the conditions that cause that calcium.
Okay, so basically there is an ideal condition for these things to happen,
Yes.
right?
So one more thing to add is that, so calcium, we've talked about calcium, so now leading to the health benefits, right? Do you know how much calcium you need a day? The recommended daily intake. Testing you on that.
How much calcium a day? Calcium
Calcium
per se.
per day.
Yeah, but just calcium alone.
Yeah, calcium
Per day.
per day.
For you to be, that will constitute a normal intake?
Yes, the recommended daily.
What are you looking at? MG or what?
MG.
How the hell would I know?
It's good to know.
Okay.
Because you're at that age that you
4 liters of water is what we all know, right?
Okay.
Which is what every human being should be having by all rights.
4 is
A bit much.
a bit much. I would say the typical 8 glasses is 2,
Yeah.
but in Singapore it's so hot, you need more.
Yeah.
And if you exercise and you gym, so you need more as well.
Yeah.
So I would say 3 to 4 is actually the ideal for yourself.
3 to 4 liters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's water. But in
Right.
terms of calcium,
I don't know.
okay, the answer is 1,000.
1,000 what? MG?
1,000 mg.
Okay.
Yeah. Guess how much calcium this bottle of Evian has?
I don't know. You tell me.
You can magic. So for mineral waters,
Yeah.
it's all clearly written on the labels.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does it say?
It says 80 milligrams
Right.
per liter.
Okay.
How much are you going to drink per day? If I give you all the Evian entire world that you can drown yourself in, how much will you drink?
A lot.
Okay, so 4 liters, right?
Right.
So you drink 4, right?
Okay.
So if 1 liter of Evian contains 80, so 4 would be 320.
Right.
And how much do you need a day again?
1,000.
So if you drink-
still isn't enough.
If you drink 4 liters of this, you are still getting only 32% of your daily requirement. It's not even half, you know?
Okay.
And
So we're all screwed then.
no, wait, haven't finished yet. So 32%,
Right.
you know?
Right.
But say if you are drinking this instead, which is like Dasani.
Yeah.
Okay, this is Meadows distilled water.
Yeah.
Guess how much calcium this has?
I don't know.
0.
Well, because it's distilled. But you know, it's funny because I know, and I cannot remember even if I do.
Yes.
I can't mention it.
Yes.
But I will say that there is a particular popular dieting plan
Yeah.
where this group of people,
Yeah.
okay, they actually espouse
Yeah.
the ingesting distilled water with maple syrup to lose weight.
Okay.
There are people I know that
Yeah.
that takes distilled water
Yeah.
and they add maple syrup for taste.
Well, at least there's maple syrup dissolved in it.
Yep.
So in a sense, you're not really drinking
And
distilled water.
And then when they pee,
yeah.
when they go and pee,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
All the bad stuff comes out, and you actually lose weight along with it.
Of course, because you're on a calorie deficit, so definitely you'll lose weight.
Calorie deficit is one thing, but they actually say that one of the main things would be distilled water with maple syrup.
Personally, I think that there are many things wrong about this diet.
Right.
The fact that it has almost no protein in it itself is a very big red flag to me. But of course, that's talking about dieting, right? But okay, when we talk about water,
There are people I know, sorry to interject.
Yeah, sure.
There are also people I know, families, that order cartons after cartons of water,
Yeah.
distilled water,
Yeah.
instead of drinking off the tap,
when you later do a tasting with me, you will discover what's
wrong with
the
it.
distilled water.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is a certain, well, we can go into that later on during tasting. But essentially, so distilled water contains 0, almost 0. Well, if you look at tap water,
Yeah.
right? Tap water, according to PUB statistics,
Right.
and I'm not even, this is PUB stats.
Yeah, let's not diss them, okay? I'm not going to get in trouble for this.
No. No, I'm talking about talking facts here. No, there are merits to a low mineral water.
Right.
I'm not saying low mineral is bad.
Okay, okay.
There are merits to it, like it's ideal for coffees, for teas, and for other purposes.
Okay.
There are merits to low mineral water, which I will highlight right after this.
Right.
But right now, talking about calcium, specifically calcium.
Right.
So even tap water
Right.
is very low. Tap water is less than 50. It's 20,
Okay.
And if you put it through a filtration system, it could bring it down even further to almost zero, if not zero.
What?
And so imagine if you drink 4 liters of Evian a day,
Yeah.
compared to drinking 4 liters of this a day
Right.
for 10 years, 20 years.
Right.
How much are you missing? How much calcium are you missing?
Sure. So right now, you know what I feel? I feel like Chris is wasted a lot of money with that filtration system of yours in your,
Yep.
Okay, wait.
I just heard Kai say, yup, yes, Kai.
To qualify on low mineral water, there are times where drinking very low, demineralized, very low mineral water is good for you. For example, if you go to Hai Di Lao, right,
Yeah.
and you just had the saltiest soup that for like liters of it, maybe, I don't know, because it's so delicious, right?
Liters of it.
Yeah, liters of it. It's so delicious.
Okay.
Yeah. So your body would be extremely high in sodium,
Right.
and not only that, with everything like cholesterol, whatever, everything. Basically, very highly nutritious meal,
Right.
and yeah,
Freaking unhealthy meal, yeah.
you want to dilute, right?
Right.
That's where the very low mineral or low mineral water comes in. And that's where tap water comes in, where you can simply dilute yourself and pee out. Because as you pee, you are flushing out toxins, mineral, waste products.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you ingest a very nutritious meal,
Right.
there's gonna be a lot of waste
Yeah.
product coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the very low mineral water will help you in that.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Kai, have you got the answer yet, Kai?
Yes, let me switch to the...
I remember calcium oxalate.
What?
Yeah, calcium oxalate here.
Yeah.
Calcium oxalate.
Yeah. And oxalate comes from diet.
Thanks, Kai.
No problem.
You're the best. It comes from, again, sorry?
Diet, oxalate.
Right.
Yeah. It comes from, even your like bran, your wheat, wheat products, and few other, things that are very high. Spinach is very high.
Oh, it's in brand, B-R-A-N.
Yeah,
brand,
yeah.
brand,
Wheat
wheat.
products, yeah.
Okay.
Spinach,
Spinach.
but very high in oxalate. Yeah. And I think you can Google like,
But there's good stuff, what?
yes. But the thing is, so is calcium. Calcium is also good stuff.
Yeah.
But you can create conditions within you that will create bad stuff from the good stuff.
Okay.
Such as by not drinking enough water, being dehydrated most of the time, and having bad diet. Diet is a very key thing, definitely. It's water. Drinking water is part of a diet, right? So essentially, it is diet.
Let's talk about cuisine then.
Yeah.
Are there specific types of water that pair particularly well with some foods?
So this is where
Like wine pairing, but is water pairing? Is there such a thing?
yes. So so this is where the art comes in.
Okay.
And as you know, art is subjective, right?
yeah.
So there can be recommendations in a sense
Sure.
by professionals.
Look, wine is also subjective with whatever you pair it with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want to drink white wine with my red meat. Why not? Who's there to stop me? Who's there to say that it is bad?
Oh, what are you doing? The snobs will, the snobs will say something lah.
So everyone have their own,
Like me.
and that I've actually heard of a scientific reason why red pairs better with red meat.
Yeah.
Wine pair. But anyways, anyway.
Let's not go into wine. Let's talk about water. Huh?
Yeah. So
How about pairing with water?
So essentially, there are reasons why like certain waters may go with certain foods,
Right.
So for example, say if you're eating sashimi, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and you really kind of just really want to taste the essence of the sashimi,
Right.
fullness of the fish,
Yeah.
the pure taste of the fish, and you don't want anything to get in your way.
Right.
Yeah. So in that sense, then you may want to pair it with like a very low mineral water, like how the Japanese people would do it. Yeah. But there are contrarians
Yeah.
who say that, let's pair this with something extra strong instead. So instead of very low mineral water,
Go
get a
higher mineral.
ultra, so not even medium or high, it's like ultra high.
Right.
So like salty, bittery water
And it goes with the fish.
with fish or oysters. Some like it with the oysters.
Yeah, I love it, man.
Yeah, like if you
Sounds
ask, so Martin Rees, he would recommend like, so there's this brand called Roy, ROI,
Right.
world's most magnesium-rich water.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about, so water, we talk about minerals, right? It's about what the quantity of minerals inside.
Right.
So something like this will have 0, right?
Right.
Something like this will contain about 500 milligrams in total.
Right.
So now we're talking about using Roy, which is like almost 10,000 milligrams.
Wow.
So very strong.
Right.
Very strong water. For reference, sea water. So water, but sea water, that's about 35,000, 40,000 milligrams.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So all water has a minerality to it.
Right.
Yeah. Whether it's 0 or 35,000.
Including from the ocean.
Exactly. Because it's all water, right? And what's in the water.
But there must be some form of desalinization, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. To make it to
Drinking water. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have something like Roy, which is around 10,000 milligrams, and very strong. I mean, I don't have the example here, but if you ever get a chance to taste something like this, maybe in future, if you go to my office, I may have a bottle, to taste something like this, then you realize that it's very salty, very bitter, and a bit sweet, because of the high levels of calcium, magnesium, sodium, it's high in everything. So someone might say, hey, that adds complexity to the food, and that would pair very well with something like oysters, for example. Yeah, so I mean, there's always this like both sides,
Yeah, very interesting. When you said magnesium content,
Yes.
the term magnesium means a lot to me because I know that once, with people in my age, as we get older, right, besides the calcium,
Yes.
we lose a lot of magnesium or we cannot produce enough sufficient magnesium.
You don't actually ever produce. You can only get it from
Supplements? No.
diet.
That's zinc. Magnesium, actually, we could before we turn 30. After we turn 30, we slow down. And that's when hormonal changes start to happen because we are aging and we get dad bods, right?
Yeah.
And that's because we have more estrogen than we do testosterone. We're losing some testosterone.
Okay.
And one of the building blocks of that, from what I know, is that I may be wrong, I'm not a doctor, is magnesium, yeah?
Yes.
So guys like me, for example, I take zinc and magnesium as supplements
Yes.
almost every day.
Yes.
Just to make sure that I still look 20 years younger than I age.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Yeah. But anyway, so in this instance, right?
Yes.
People can actually also get it from something like Roy, for example.
Yes, from a mineral-rich water. Not just any water, but from a magnesium-rich water.
Right. Okay, that's interesting. Now I'm curious about this blind tasting thing.
Yes.
So when you actually do a blind taste, which we will be doing,
Okay.
what are some of the key characteristics that you actually be looking for? Do you know the differentiate between what we'll be doing is will be my home's very expensive filtered water,
Yeah.
and the other types that you brought along today?
Yes.
Yeah, what will you be looking out for?
So, the number one, off flavors.
Off flavors.
Yes. So a very common thing about water to take note of is the presence of off flavors. Off flavors in water that's really not supposed to be there. Yeah. And this is extremely common in highly demineralized or purified waters. So do you recall ever like buying like a very cheap bottle,
All the time.
shan't name names, but
I know.
So,
I'm gonna name names either.
so when you drink it, you're like, wow, this water tastes funny.
Right.
Yeah. So that is the kind of effect.
Okay, so how you relating this to me is that what people, even me, would say,
Yeah.
hey, tastes funny, this water.
Yes.
Is it?
Exactly. Well, trust your instincts. If it tastes funny, it is funny. Because
Okay.
it's something that's inside that's not supposed to be in there.
So it is possible, therefore, to train the untrained person, to train the palate to discern these subtle differences
The thing is,
in water.
they already can discern it. It's just to identify it.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's to look for off flavors, is to look for the taste of minerals, is to feel the water, feel meaning the body of the water.
Right.
Yeah. So
What's the body of the water?
waters are thicker, some waters are thinner.
What?
Yes, just like human beings. Some are slinker, some are thinner.
Oh, shut the fuck up, man. I know that's meant for me. Hey, Kai, you heard about that? Thin water and thick water, dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can feel the body, whether it's heavy or light. You can feel it on your palate. Yeah.
Freaking hell, I'm taking this personally. Yeah. Are there any common misconceptions people have, about, say, bottled water versus tap water versus
Yes.
filtered water?
Yes. So spring waters, mineral water. So to me, there are essentially two categories of water.
Yeah.
So one's a natural spring, natural mineral water. Basically one that comes from Mother Nature.
Right.
Yeah. And the other category is one that is purified. So filtered through machines.
Okay.
So these are the two big categories. And any water besides seawater, that you can get your hands on,
Right.
is either one of these categories.
Right.
Yeah. And then from these two, you can break it down further,
One's so-called manufactured, the other one is natural.
Exactly. Yeah. Simply
Okay.
put, that's that. Yeah.
Right. Okay. What are your thoughts on growing interest in premium and artisanal waters?
Market.
Is this a trend?
It's just marketing.
That's all it is. It's not about genuine appreciation or, the nuances of water development.
Okay. What I'll say is, because I'm being very blunt here.
Yeah.
But the thing is that,
Be blunt.
as with everything,
Yeah.
the story,
Yeah.
packaging,
Yeah.
all these things are integral to the experience of appreciating something.
Right.
If you put the most expensive water in that sense, and you pour it in a cheap plastic bottle,
Right.
serving, and you just hand it over to someone like this,
Right.
that person will never understand why they should pay say $10 for that. But if you put it in nice packaging, and if you explain to the person about the story behind it, if you talk about the minerals in it, how it could benefit you in certain ways, if you talk about the taste, what are the sensations that could be gotten from tasting this water compared to another brand of water, things like this, it's all part of the story, So in a way, it's also how you market it, yeah. So yeah, it's the marketing is definitely important. So not saying that there are, so as I shared with you just now, that every mineral water brand is unique, right?
Right.
Yeah. But there are some waters that are in that sense more unique than others, in the sense that the mineral profile is rarer. So magnesium-rich water, for example.
Right.
Yeah, these things are more rare than the usual typical waters that are lower in mineral.
Right.
Let's just put it as that.
Okay.
So in a sense, when you can get a rarer bottle, and if you can market it, package it in a certain way, then yes, you can elevate it further. You can elevate it, of course.
Sure.
But of course, you can also make that more accessible by making it more mainstream, which is what some water brands do.
Right.
So it's...
But does water really fly off the shelves, man?
If the consumer understands how it can benefit them.
How do you think about Singapore, the Singapore consumer? I mean, do we have a market? Do these people really get it?
Well, we are really just right at the beginning. It's like when wine was first introduced to Singapore, maybe 30 years ago, 5 years ago. Yeah, when what's that? It's so expensive. Nobody wants to drink that.
Right.
What's it? When people don't understand it, then of course they won't pay for it. But I think we're on this trend where increasingly so, more people will be able to appreciate what can that water offer them.
Okay. So Sam, I tell you what we're going to do. We'll change the plans a little bit.
Yeah.
Kai, just take note, Kai.
Yeah.
Forget the blind tasting, man. Teach me.
Yeah.
Show me the difference, yeah? Instead.
In fact, that's what I prefer doing.
Okay, let's do that then.
Yes.
Let's do that.
Because it's more of, well, if you say that there's a difference, it has 100 times more impact than me.
I think so too. That's the reason why I changed my mind.
Yes.
Because from the very get-go, I told you you're going to prove it to me, man.
Yes.
I don't mean filtered water, thin
You
water.
prove to yourself.
Yes. Sure.
Of course.
So now I'm going to be put through school, the water school by Sam Wu. Sam,
One small session.
all yours, man.
Yeah. So
Teach me, my friend, teach me.
my usual tasting has about 30 brands. And I take them through this in about almost 3 hours.
I'm going to be 55 years old. You put me through 30 brands, I'll be running to the toilet 30 times.
So, yeah, but it's very comprehensive in a sense. Yeah, but today is a very short taster.
Yeah.
But I think it is more than sufficient for you to understand it at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. So,
I'm not being a skeptic for the sake of being a skeptic, but I really want to find out.
yes. Okay.
Okay.
So, hopefully it will change your life. Wow.
Sure. Sure, man.
Okay. So, you can see here that I've arranged the waters into
Mm-hmm.
2 categories.
Okay.
So, might you have a guess like what? I mean,
Still and sparkling.
good guess, but
Okay.
no, because the sparkling is still in my bag here.
Oh, shit. Okay. Then, okay. One is low minerals. The other one is high minerals.
In the sense that it's kind of correct. Yeah.
Shit, I still got it wrong. Okay.
Well, it's kind of correct because yes, one category is definitely low or in fact very low or demineralized. Yeah. So remember
Very low demineralized. Okay.
yeah. So there's a slight difference.
Right.
So demineralized is an action of removing the minerals from the water.
Yeah, you told me that. Yeah.
Whereas low mineral can just be a characteristic.
Yeah.
So yes, so one category. So remember the 2 categories of water that I told you about just now.
Right.
The 2 big categories. So one that's purified or manufactured.
Yeah.
And the
The other one is natural.
Yeah. Natural spring, natural mineral.
From the earth.
From the earth. Yeah. So it's exactly these 2 categories here.
Okay. I guess this one is manufactured. That
Yeah.
one's from the earth. You know why not? Because the ones from the earth normally comes with more expensive packaging.
Yeah.
And they cost more money.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Because they are imported.
Because of the branding and the marketing lah.
Guess where this come from.
Holy crap, Singapore.
Almost got it.
From Seletar Hills. Okay.
Almost correct. Almost not Seletar Hill. Well, it's partially correct because it comes from JB tap water that is purified by the Singapore
Singapore
government.
government.
So you're kind of correct also.
So it's manufactured. Yeah.
Yeah,
It is not natural.
correct.
Water that we buy and then we purify.
Yes.
Okay.
So we usually start off with the taste of that.
Right.
As like the obviously baseline in a sense,
Okay. Sure.
starting off with we'll just go by that.
Yeah. I'm thirsty, man. Come on.
Yes. So the very first one we have here is distilled water.
Yeah.
So this is from the supermarket brand.
Right.
Yes.
So,
when
I hold this like a wine kind of shit.
so how to drink it?
Rate.
So Martin Rees,
Yes.
I think he tries to do it a bit more fancy, where he will actually do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Huh.
And not only that, he will when he drinks it, he will drink it in a way that is like.
What?
And he says that
Slurp
to aerate the palate.
No, really?
Yeah, but
Okay.
but the thing is, I never ever do that, and I don't even encourage to do that because there's no point to me.
No, but I think I got a dry mouth, so I'm going to do it that way. Martin Rees, right?
Up to you.
Cheers to you, Martin. I'm going to be slurping it like...
One second.
Yeah, okay.
Before you sip it,
Spit. Okay.
Smell.
Smell.
yes,
Yeah.
Cheers.
I would like to invite you
Water bouquet.
to smell the water.
Seriously?
So, by right, water being neutral, there shouldn't be any smell
Exactly.
unless
Yeah.
it is so very high mineral waters
Yeah.
can have a smell. Unfortunately, we don't have that today.
What do you pour? You just poured from your distilled, right?
I just pop on the distilled.
Definitely no smell. 100% no smell.
Do you smell anything? No?
No. No.
No? Okay, sure. Yeah, but maybe you may.
I just want to drink damn thing. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and have a sip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sip.
Okay, you can drink the whole thing if you want. Yeah.
Yeah. Water.
Water. Okay. Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Can?
Yeah, okay.
So this is baseline.
That's baseline.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So now I will give you
Yeah.
another water,
Okay.
but like a contrast.
Contrast. So explain contrast.
So, okay, I'm going to give you this one.
So you're saying I'm going to tell a difference?
I don't know.
Okay.
You might, you may not.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what is that?
So this is Voss water. So they are
What water?
Voss.
VOSS.
Yeah.
I heard false. Okay. Sorry.
So in terms of mineralization of the water, they are both almost equally low or very low.
Okay.
Yeah. So this would be, so if you look at the label here, so a natural mineral water will always give you a mineral analysis
Right.
of what's the composition of the water. And it will tell you what is the total dissolved solids, TDS.
Okay.
So water is all about the minerals inside the water.
Sure.
And minerals is measured by, or the term is TDS, total dissolved solids.
Sure. Okay. Okay.
So the one that's here is 44.
Right.
So 44 milligrams. So anything that is below 50 is considered very low mineral.
Fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So something like distilled water, it would be 0 if not close to 0.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, explainable lah because it's distilled anyway, so it
Yes.
should be 0.
So they're all in the very low mineral category.
Fine.
Kind of similar in that sense.
Okay.
Yeah. So make sure that of course, it's empty, you know. Before that, I think I will drink a bit from yours as well.
Sure.
Just to be on the same page as you.
This is serious, man. Same page as me. And it just goes a little tinkle. Oh. There's no smell.
I think also because the space is quite...
Yeah, I mean, it's meant for wine.
Yeah.
You know? So I thought, might as well make it look, make today's shoot look a bit more style, Milo.
I would actually put it in but it's okay.
Champagne flute.
Okay. Now.
Voss. Okay.
Okay.
Low mineral. Below 50 is about 40 something. Okay.
I want some of this too. Okay. Yeah.
There you go. And just...
So a characteristic of a very low mineral, of course we have no much reference right now, but if a characteristic of a very low mineral water is one that is light bodied, so of course there's little to no minerals inside, right? Yeah. So one that is light, it glides down very fast, and it has neutral, I would say a very neutral taste in a sense. Yeah. But in terms of water som language, right? Later as we move on to we don't have so there's a gap here. But right here, there's supposed to be... Well, let's use Volvic later. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Because Volvic... So this is 44, right?
Right.
And the second one here, so which is Hilden here,
Yeah.
this is about 300 plus.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's quite a big jump.
Very big jump. Yeah.
Yeah. So the jump is good because you can taste distinct
difference?
Yes.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
see.
but the transition, which is a low mineral water, which is very similar to tap water in Singapore. Yeah. So this is where tap water and all that lies. Right here.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Correct. So we can actually use your filtered tap water and you actually see the transition. Like there is in between this and this. You can actually sense that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, let's
So
try.
anyway, you can drink the Voss first.
Right. I have only one thing to say.
What?
Compared to the distilled, right?
Yes.
Thicker.
Okay. Yeah. Slightly.
Okay. When I say thicker, I don't know how to explain it. It's
Feel something.
like something more, there's more body.
Yes. More volume or...
Yeah. It feels more voluminous. That's it, Kai. Thank you so very much.
No problem.
Yeah. Well, very good, you. Voluminous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it is slightly more mineral.
It feels more like a mouthful. It feels like it fills you up more. Yeah, I think that would be proper to say it that way. Yeah. In my own, are we going for the mineral? Are we going for the distilled again?
So this one is a drinking water.
Yeah.
So, well, in fact, they are the same water, but it's just packaged differently.
Yeah. Okay. Why are we having this one now?
To show you
For the differentiation.
for the differentiation. Yeah.
Okay. So I go for it, huh?
Go for it. In fact, the next one will be this pH one. But we just drink. So we are now establishing like the baseline.
Thin. No. I can just, it's not about taste. Oh, hang on.
Surprisingly, these two, right?
It's a bit more bitter.
Surprisingly, these two, I will expect usually, even my perception of it, it will have a stronger off flavor. But today it doesn't. I don't know why it doesn't feel as strong. But I think this one should have a more pronounced.
When you say off flavor, explain to me again off flavor.
So, okay, 1 second. So, a very low mineral water, because of the way it is being manufactured or produced, it becomes demineralized. So minerals are forcibly removed from the water.
Fine.
Okay. So when you forcibly remove the minerals from the water, it becomes unstable. And it wants to dissolve things in it. So when you put it in a cheap plastic bottle, it will tend to get from its immediate environment, and that is the cheap plastic bottle that is surrounded with
like the plasticky kind of taste.
Correct. Yes. And
that's why I asked about the off flavor thing, because I felt there was a little bitterness.
Yes. Yeah, that is some people even term it sweet.
And aftertaste.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the thing is,
sweet.
When you put it in a cheap plastic bottle that has this thing called acetaldehyde blockers, so that's when the plastic, which is acetaldehyde, it goes into the water and then you can have that taste.
Right.
So I have a friend who does like this resin stuff, like resin sculptures.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did a tasting with her before, and then she even said like, oh, this actually smells like my lab.
Wow.
Yeah.
With a plastic smell.
Exactly. Yeah. And from time to time, as you drink these, in a sense, very cheap, distilled bottled waters, sometimes you will discover them as well. Like when you drink them, you will like, especially after today, as you drink the natural ones. Yeah. Yeah. And then when you go back to the distilled ones, and whether it's pure drinking water or distilled water, I mean, there's different packaging names for the same water essentially. You will be more aware of these off flavors in a sense. Yeah.
Now this is pH.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
pH.
So yeah, pH is from Taiwan. Yeah.
So there's more alkaline. Supposedly.
So the whole discussion about alkaline water. Yeah. So essentially, when you look at the water, like I shared with you the two main categories, right?
Yeah.
It is. No, what do I want to say? Let me think. Let me retrace my thoughts.
Yep.
Okay, alkaline water. Basically, so I talk about two categories, right? Every water that you have, you can fit into one of these two.
Okay.
Most of the alkaline water brands that you find in the supermarket, when you first try to identify them, like, okay, so which type is it? It is obviously the first type, which is manufactured, highly purified, demineralized water.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But they will always sell it as oxygenated water or alkaline water. Or they will put this fancy names onto the bottle.
Right.
Yeah. So these are just gimmicks.
Okay.
To upsell what is essentially just purified water.
Right.
Yeah. And the supposed health benefits behind these are unproven and dubious. It is really like someone like who works for like, say, like a large, okay, I don't name the name, but like for a large, say, firm, that sells like bottled water, purified bottled water, and it's like, oh, how can we sell the same water? How can we make consumers pay more for the same water? Oh, let's confuse them with like a health benefit that is dubious or not scientifically proven. And it really is not scientifically proven. What is scientifically proven is the benefits of calcium, magnesium, sodium, blah, blah, blah. What is not is like all this alkaline water, oxygen water, and things like this.
What I'm getting from that pH drink is this lasting flavor at the back. It's not a flavor. It's more like a
that sensation.
It's like no. It's a refrigerated sensation at the back.
Yeah, that one is more obvious.
I'm still getting it at the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's quite pleasant. But I still don't see a difference in taste, though. Excuse me. More voluminous or thick compared to those two. Not as thick as Voss. Yeah, so it doesn't feel that much volume as Voss, but thicker than these two for sure. Yeah.
Well, we will explore more of the natural ones,
Let's
and
go
then
for it, man.
hopefully
Give
see
me something that's distinct.
a more distinct difference.
Yeah.
So usually I will experience very stark differences for the purified.
Right.
But I have to be aligned with you today because I also don't really feel very big differences as of now. But also because if you understand like the 4 brands that we have been drinking so far
Right.
are all in the same category.
Right.
Yeah, but what I wanted to point out more distinctly were the off flavors.
Right.
But they were not so stark today.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But later if you revisit just this and the Voss,
Right.
you may start to
Yeah.
they become more obvious.
Give me something really significantly different, man.
Yeah, I'll just jump to this.
Oh, do you mean that's more significantly different than the glass bottle?
Okay, in fact, maybe I won't jump to this. I'll just give you Hilden first, which itself will be
Hilden.
very stark difference from whatever you've drunk.
Okay.
Yeah, so looking at mineral levels, right? So Voss is 44 just now, and all these are almost 0.
Right.
Yeah, so now we are going to something that's 300 plus with 100 milligrams.
Now we talking, baby.
Yes, so with 100 milligrams per liter of calcium.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is.
Add 45% alcohol as well.
So Hilden is the Queen's water.
Queen's water.
Yeah, so I mean,
Oh.
it is sold quite expensively. It says also the branding as well.
Oh, King's water actually now.
Now it's the King.
Yeah.
But
On His Majesty's
they haven't changed. Yeah.
His Majesty's water supply. Yeah. Cheers.
Enjoy. This one you can feel atas drinking it. Yeah.
Right. Should we, mate? Down the hatch then.
Straight away, you'll find the body of the water to be distinctly more than the past 4. Straight the first thing. And then you may feel like a certain taste of the calcium coming out. It starts to emerge, although it's not very strong. Yeah. Certain bitterness coming out from the calcium. Yeah, but it's not very, very strong because it's only 100 milligrams. When you drink the heavy duty one later, it will shout out to you. Yeah, but this one isn't too strong, but the body.
I can drink this all day. No, I can drink this all day, man. Sam, this one is delightful.
No, it's nice. Delightfully still. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, it says.
Delightfully still.
You just said something that is written on this and you didn't even know that it's on here.
No, it's so funny. It's delightful because something about it, man. I mean, it's really
Balance, more balance. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it tastes pure. That's how I feel it. There is a taste to it. There is a little, not bitterness. I've such a tinge of salty. Very, very, very small, very minute tinge of salty. Yep. Now you're going to give me the kicker, right?
Yes, the kicker.
Go for it, man. Give me half a glass, man. Damn it, I'm thirsty.
So this one is 240 milligrams of calcium, and this one comparing this to Hilden, to the purified waters,
Right.
you will start to have a grasp of what calcium tastes like. You start to have a grasp.
Calcium.
Yeah.
The one thing I never got from any one of these tests so far
Yes.
is the bouquet. I can't get it.
Is the
Bouquet, the smell.
bouquet of
The smell.
Oh, the smell?
Yeah, I can't tell anything.
I think it's also to do with the cup, but usually with another cup, I think not with this, you can smell quite distinctly for the distill. But even then, for me today, I couldn't smell it as well.
Okay.
I think something about a cup that diffuses the
Maybe.
smell.
It's meant to aerate.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Bitter.
How do you find?
Bitter.
Okay, you hold on to that. Let me give you one last one.
Bitter.
This one? So this 240.
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
480.
Okay.
Calcium. Still focus. So we are very focused on calcium.
Yeah. I'm tasting it now.
And this
Tasting the
one,
calcium now.
this one even has, it's so rich that it has precipitated.
What is what?
Precipitated. Do you see?
Yeah, basically you only got that much. Like,
Yeah, because this one,
evaporated.
no, I mean, I use it sparingly for tastings.
Right.
Because I have I literally, I don't have much of this left.
Right. So it's precious.
It's precious.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Mm.
But this will give you a very good idea. So if you look at the labeling of the mineral analysis here,
Yeah.
this is very, very health oriented because it's very high mineral water.
Right. How high is this?
So in total, this is about 2,000,
Holy crap.
2,000, almost 2,000 milligrams.
Which is more than what's needed.
No, in total, not
Oh, it's total.
calcium alone.
Okay.
So of the 2,000, calcium is about 500.
Right. Right, man.
Oops. This one is a heavy.
A ton of wow. That's different. Now that one.
Yes. But it's, so if you're not
Well, that one is really different.
yeah, that one, this one really is really different. Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, man. All these we tasted,
Yeah.
this is my baby.
Yeah.
This is my baby. I'm not saying the name because they didn't pay me to say the name. I'm really showing the label. It's just damn bloody good to me, okay?
You know why?
Yeah.
Why you gravitate towards this?
Why?
Because
Because I look like Angmo, huh?
because as Asians, right?
Yeah.
We grew up drinking low mineral water. I mean, tap water itself is low,
Right.
right? So tap water on average, the average minerality of tap water is 100.
Right.
Yeah. So, what we prefer,
Uh-huh.
we are shaped by it in a sense.
Mhm.
Yeah. So if you stay in Germany, right, where you are used to like very high mineral waters, you may actually prefer something stronger. But here in Asia, we like something usually lighter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So although Hilden, I would say it's heavier. I mean, it's 300. It's not exactly 100, you know. But, there's a certain body to it and certain character to it that, makes it a bit more special in a sense.
No, I felt quenched with this.
Yeah, more balanced.
But that last one you gave me, man, that
That made you thirsty.
well, that one made me, no, that one is a real kicker. That one you can sense everything in there.
Yes.
You're right. I'm sold.
That is, so this one,
I'm sold.
this one
Yeah.
is for people who are calcium deficient. It
Okay.
really is because you just calculate. So 1 liter of this 480 milligrams. So basically 1 liter of this, 50% of your daily requirement, which is extremely good.
Yeah.
You know, if it is a calcium supplement, it's by itself, you know,
Wow.
but in water. And this is sold in France. This is from France.
Must be damn expensive.
No, it's not very expensive.
Oh.
Yeah. In fact, I think in France, this is like maybe €2, 3 and the most. Yeah. Yeah. But the thing is, of course, you don't get to ship here and shipping fees and all that kind of stuff. So it's sold locally. It's very affordable. Yeah. And, it's a very good water for elderly, in fact, for everybody who,
Right.
we all need calcium in some way or form. Yeah.
Right.
So this is very good for that. And if you look at, and so far we'll be talking about the cation. So a mineral, so like salt, table salt, right? Sodium chloride is made from cation and anion, right? So sodium, the cat, and chloride is the anion.
Okay.
Yes. So it's no harder than that.
You're losing me. You're losing me every day, man. You're losing me every day, man. Listen, man, we just get out of the show just a little bit.
Yeah.
Thanks for all this. This is great. This is still my favorite. And yeah, okay, I get what you mean now.
Yeah.
Firsthand, I taste it. I know. I can sense it. I mean,
Still the sparkling.
it's okay. Let's
That's
go
more
there.
fun.
Because after that, I'm really going to take a long leak in the toilet. Sam, what are your hopes? And
Emmett, can I just let you try one more water?
okay,
Before we...
the guy is still going, man. I thought, okay, let's go for it. Yep. Okay, so what you got for me? You
Yes.
you got for me sparkling. Is it sparkling?
This is sparkling.
Vichy
Vichy Catalan from Barcelona.
from Barcelona.
Yeah.
So it's Spanish water.
Yeah. If you visit there, of course, it's a fantastic place.
Yeah.
This is like the main brand there.
Yeah, you were so excited, man. We want to go on and
Yeah, you must try
give
it.
a little bit more of the show, but then again, you're really insisting on this.
Yes.
And the reason that you're insisting on this is because why?
because it will produce a similar kind of reaction from you drinking that high calcium water. This is a high sodium water.
Sodium means salty lah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's give it a shot, man. See what the hype is all about. Ooh. If only it was champagne.
This is like
You feel it bubbly?
this is like 100
Yeah,
plus.
Mike, pick up the bubbly.
It's like 100 plus, but without the sugar and flavorings.
100 plus for what? 100 plus what?
This is like 100 plus, but without sugar.
Oh,
and
100 plus the drink.
yes, but without the flavorings, without the sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And you get why I say that.
Holy shit balls, dude.
It's actually very nice. Yeah.
This is, it's actual form.
Yeah. So this emerges from
No additional additives. It's like that,
natural, 100% natural.
but carbonated.
Okay, so it emerges from the ground naturally carbonated, but because of commercial reasons, they fortify the carbonation.
Sure, but are you telling me that sparkling water
Yeah.
actually is natural sparkling?
Yes, this is a naturally sparkling. There is no still version. So like,
You know the streams are what? These streams are, or springs are bubbling springs?
from the ground, underground, volcanic regions. You know, when they have CO2 underground.
Damn, this is like 100 plus.
Yeah. And when you drink it now it's not cold. When you drink it like super cold, it's very, very nice. It is very, very nice.
So it's really like electrolytes and stuff like that and all that.
Exactly. It's just what form of electrolytes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a kicker, man. Now I understand why you had to rush out and get that.
Yes, yes. Because this is
You
really,
wanted me to really try this. This is a kicker.
yeah, this one is like undeniable. The taste.
Man, I will have that any day. There's that and this my delightful water.
I will send you one carton.
Hey, wow.
I'll send
Thank
one
you.
carton. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
But this is something, quite something, yeah.
Mm.
What are your hopes and aspirations for the future of water appreciation here in Singapore?
Well, I just hope that more people are aware of how they can make use of water. So to drink the right water, how to make use of the water.
Right. And in order for that to happen, do you think we need not inspire you guys who are water sommeliers in Singapore? There should be more, right?
We need more. Yeah.
Okay.
More water sommeliers. I hope to see more brands of water as well. But working in the industry, I know it's tough to get people to buy mineral water.
Right.
Because it's expensive because you import it. You know?
Yeah.
And of course, the big brands, they have made it very competitive for new entries, So, I'm not saying that they are bad, but in fact, they're good. It's just, it's difficult to enter, I would say, like for new brands to enter.
Right.
Yeah.
So for someone who's watching the show, who might be looking for a unique career path like you were before, what advice would you offer based on your own serendipitous journey in this world of water?
Follow whatever that excites you, that's your passion, that doesn't feel like a job to you, you know, that when you are in the flow, it feels so easy just to like do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you, and really to investigate, like when you're doing something, right? Like, is it because you are really interested in it? Or is it because you fear the alternative? Like, for example, like you're working in a job and then like, and actually I don't really like the job, but I just do it because a job is a job. And I fear, that I cannot be supported if I were to really follow what I want to do. So a lot of people have this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then over the long term, they suffer in a sense.
But in this juncture, can you safely say that since you've embarked on this journey, you truly love what you do?
I truly love the water education aspect.
Okay.
Yeah. And of course, me moving on to a new field now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 35, and it feels like life just started in a whole new direction for me. So it's like, it's not too late in a sense to do something that you feel like, hey, you want to change to something different? Yeah, go and do it. Go and.
Well, are you still going to continue the water education stuff as a water sommelier?
I definitely will continue the water education stuff because it's my passion. In some way, shape or form, in a sense. In some form,
Right.
I'll still be doing it.
Right.
Yeah. But I'm hoping to have someone to spearhead like Water Sommelier, the business side and me playing the supportive role, the marketing role. Because after all, I mean, I do have this like knowledge, like expertise in a sense.
So, Kai, let's put up that. There you go. The Water Sommelier, this is still your business anyway, right?
Oh, yeah, thanks.
Yeah, okay. So, for those of you who want to reach out to Sam Wu, you can also go to the Water Sommelier or catch him on his socials, okay? He's on IG quite a lot. Thanks very much, man. I mean, it's been really nice. I mean, yeah, okay. I get the point.
You get a point, right?
I get the point.
Yeah.
Okay. I see the value, and I appreciate you for doing all this with me.
Thanks for having me.
Especially for me, man. Well, thank you for being here. I wish you all the very best, especially whatever else you plan on doing
much.
in your ensuing future. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, everyone. You just watched Sam Wu, the first certified water sommelier in Singapore, for the I Love Our Job series, or I Love My Job series on the Chris Henson Conversation. Don't forget to catch us next Friday, okay, for our next episode. Until next time, bye-bye.